What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today I'm joined by the very awesome Bam Hendrixx. What is up, Bam?
Hey y'all, yo, everything's good on my end. What's good, Rob? What's good? I'm happy to be here. Happy to be
Yes,
here.
yes. This has been a something that I've wanted to do for a while, especially because of half because you're awesome, and half also because of what you do in your day job. It's the melding of an awesome person doing some very interesting work that I'm like, okay, I got some questions. I need to know how all this works. But before we get to that, as I always say, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Dad Needs to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, and sometimes video games. So, like I said, got my friend Bam here, and me and Bam, we've been cool on the timeline for quite a while.
A while, yeah. We go way back like a Cadillac, okay? Okay, listen.
Yes. And so, me and Bam actually we finally got to meet in person at DreamCon a couple months ago,
Yes,
which
yes.
was super awesome. And honestly, I was oh, okay, she knows who I am. Because when I was like,
Of
hi,
course. It's crazy meeting your mutuals in person because it's like you see the pictures, but then in person it's like, oh my gosh, like it's you. Like you're real. Like you're like feeling them like,
yes,
oh my gosh, like you're actually a real person. Like, yeah,
yes,
it's
yes.
crazy.
So, but yeah, because you and many other people, I was like, oh, okay, of course we follow each other, but it's like, no, they actually know who I am, what I do. So I was like, okay, that made me feel very special, and definitely, like I said, was like even more incentive of like, you know what, we got to schedule something out, get Bam on the show. And so, with that being said, Bam, introduce yourself to the people. Who are you, and tell them what you do.
Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I am your girl, Bam Hendrixx. That is with two X's and an underscore. I make parody videos. I'm starting to cosplay, starting to get into voice acting, all
Mm,
things anime, all things manga, of course. I started out on the scene probably around 2019 when I was in grad school and I was in Atlanta. And I just, one day I was just like, you know what? I was I was live tweeting about Dragon Ball Super, and I remember this, like, and people were responding. And
ooh,
then
nice.
I started seeing that people were funny and they were making videos, and I'm like, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this. I made my first video. It went, I mean, I was so unsure
Yeah,
of how it was going to go. And it received so much love, so much. It went viral. And I was like, whoa, that was my first
yeah,
time where I was like, you know what? I might have something here.
yeah,
I started to be consistent. I was writing. It was even one time I was in class and I couldn't concentrate because there was an idea in my head and I had to write it out during class. Like
yeah,
I'm in psychology like 101, but I'm over here writing about My Hero Academia type. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And from that point on, I was like, there's something here that I want to expound upon.
yeah.
I actually ended up getting a job at the airlines. Right before I had finished my first year.
Mm,
So that kind of turned my stability upside down. I slowed down on my videos, but I was still very much like live tweeting about the shows, wanting to have these conversations, wanting to talk about it. And now it's turned into something that I really want to pursue. I
yeah.
want it to be my career. And now that I have a mic, guys, I got my first mic.
Yes.
Crazy. I want to pursue voice acting as well. And all day today, I've literally just been like going over lines and watching videos and trying to see exercises to warm up your voice.
Yeah.
So that's my journey now at the tender age of 27. Here I am.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Very
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Um, and see, stuff like that is one of the reasons why I love having this podcast because it is a awesome excuse for me to get to talk to awesome people and to learn about because it's like even though you might follow somebody for a long time or y'all follow each other
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
sometimes you never, or it's hard to kind of like get like the full picture of who a person is and what all
Yeah.
they might actually do,
Mhm.
just from, reading tweets or Instagram posts and stuff like that or
Yeah.
whatever. And so that's why I enjoy being able to have these conversations and stuff, whatever. Because, like I said, it's like, I do it more so for myself than for the people.
And I mean, like, it's really cool to actually sit there and listen to the person behind the avatar, the person behind the
Yes.
tweets, like, I think we all have maybe some kind of idea about each other online, but then you actually sit there and you get to know them, and it's like I see how your personality like transfers onto the internet,
Yeah.
but to actually know this person now, to have talked, it's like you are like you're like completely downplaying yourself,
Yeah.
so it is a cool thing. It is really cool, and I'm happy that we can like talk and like have this. I'm
Yes.
excited.
Yes, for
So
sure.
excited.
Because and I feel like a lot of us have talked about this since, a lot of us got to meet each other at DreamCon or whatever. But that was definitely a moment of like what you just said of
Hmm.
like, okay, you are what I imagine when I'm either, like you said, like
Oh yeah,
reading your tweets or
yeah,
listening to people's podcasts or their YouTube videos or whatever. And it's like, okay, no, okay, yes, yes, you are being genuine. You are, this is you,
yeah,
so yeah,
yep.
so I
Meet
love
me
it.
in the flesh.
So I want to kind of just dive right in
Let's go.
to the airline stuff. So, okay, so you say you've been doing that since 2019.
Yes, I was hired on in 2019. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so I've been a flight attendant going on like 4 years now, yeah, like the start of my 4th year.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So okay, so when you got into doing that or whatever, or I guess the first question is like, what led you to wanting to get into being a flight attendant and working in the airline industry?
So, my roommate at the time, we were both just like over school. I had taken a year off from school. I had graduated my undergrad in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
She had went straight into grad school after she graduated in
Mm,
2018. So, we were both just kind of like, yo, there's more to life out here. Like this can't be it.
yeah.
And she said, well, I've always thought about being a flight attendant. Like I've always wanted to do, like, they just fly all over the world. And I was like, yeah, girl, and they get money. I was in for a rude awakening with that one. I was in for a rude awakening. But she was like, I just really would love to like do that. So
Mm-hmm.
the second semester, she left grad school and she applied and
Mm-hmm.
she got the job. Like she went to training and everything and she applied. I was like, okay, I'm going to kind of chill out first. I'm gonna see if this is actually what I want to do. And then after I knew that she got hired on, I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead. I'll apply. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I applied. I got the job on the spot. It was crazy, and I was like, all right, like this is real life. Like
Yeah.
I'm about to leave stability. I didn't know I was gonna leave stability, but I was about to leave stability
Yeah.
and go into a whirlwind of just everything, because this job is so unconventional. It's not a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You don't clock in and clock out. It's you don't sometimes you don't know where you're going until you get there.
Yeah.
And I have, like I said, I've adapted clearly. I've adapted well. I get it. But it was a huge adjustment because, my family, we go to school, we get our degrees. That's all we know. But
Mm-hmm.
I kind of switched it up. I was like, listen, school will always be there.
Yeah.
Let me hop on this plane. Let's go around the world. You know what I mean? Young black girl, no kids, no husband. There's not a lot of things to tie me into one
Yeah.
place. So I was like, I might as well seize the opportunity. And now 4 years later, here I am.
Yeah. And
Here
that is so awesome, and especially the fact of like you said, like seizing the opportunity,
Oh yeah.
because a lot of times, and I feel like all of us can say it one point or multiple points in our lives, we've had chances to, or we've had decision making moments to where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, do I go left or right? Do I go up or down? And, the course of our life changed depending on, that decision. And so, like I said, like with you getting into travel and stuff, now, but before you became a flight attendant, um, had you gotten to do much traveling in general before then, or was
Nope.
this kind of like Hey, we're tossing you to the deep end of the traveling pool.
No, I mean in college I had my car, so I was always going somewhere. So
Yeah,
that was the most traveling I did. But to actually like fly out and go somewhere, no, I did not do a lot of that. I had flown on planes before,
yeah,
but that I mean, I would literally fly maybe once a year because I would go and visit my cousins in Jacksonville.
yeah,
Other than that, no man. Like mm-mm, I was not flying nowhere.
yeah,
I was not flying.
yeah. So,
I didn't have my passport, so I had to get a passport for this job.
yeah, yeah,
So I had to renew it. Actually, I had one, but it expired. I was a kid, so
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so I guess with I have just so many questions.
yeah, dude, just let them roll off your tongue,
Yeah.
man. We got it. We're here.
So, okay. So with you, like I said, like diving into doing all this traveling and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, what was kind of like? Though I guess part of this is might be an obvious answer, but it's like, what was like one like kind of like a reality check moment for you, kind of like when you first started doing the traveling stuff, as far as like, okay, this is either more than I thought it would be or crazier than I expected. Like kind of what do you think was the moment, whether it be going to a certain location or a certain thing, whatever, that you was like, okay, this is insane that this is my life now.
Um, I want to say like within like the first 3 months. I
Hmm.
mean, because it's like I said, this job is not at all what anybody thinks it is.
Yeah,
Um, there's a system pretty much where you're used as is at first. So when you're really junior, they're kind of just like whatever you get is what you get. You know
yeah,
what I mean? They'll call you at whatever time they want to, and you got to be ready within a certain amount of time at the airport.
yeah,
Um, that was new for me, especially being based in a city that I've never been to. I was like, I when I first started, I was based in DC.
mm,
And, coming from Nashville, Nashville's not small, but
yeah,
it's not DC. It ain't New
yeah,
York. It ain't Cali. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I had to learn that within itself. I mean, the capital of our nation. You know
hmm,
what I mean? It was a very politically charged climate. So I was getting culture shocked with that in general,
yeah,
on top of a new job, on top of even my living situation. Like it's crazy.
yeah,
I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I stuck with it because so many people quit within like the first like 6 months of this job because they think it is what it is when it's not at all.
yeah,
So I adapted very quickly. You know what I mean? It was something I had to adapt to, but it was definitely how it's set up and
yeah,
how you can get called at 3 in the morning. You can get called at 7 p.m. You can, you know what I mean? You can get your flight can cancel, the weather. It was a lot, you know what I mean? And I of course gained a whole new respect for airline workers
yeah,
because we're just passengers. We're just getting the soda and we're just getting the cookies. But these people, you don't know that they've been up since 3 in the morning and that could have been their third flight of the day.
yeah,
So of course they're a little cranky or they're just a little impatient, but you don't see that.
yeah,
So it was a huge culture shock all across the board.
yeah,
Huge.
yeah. I bet. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, like, because I'm just trying to like just like soaking all that in, and it's like,
Mhm.
you know, I've kind of been on call before, but
Mhm.
that seems like it is just like being on call to the extreme, because it's not just like, okay, I'm on call, I need to go into work and it's at the same
Mhm.
building, whatever, or even like with me being in IT, whatever, it's like, okay, yeah, I might get called out to a certain location, but I know
Yeah.
it's within certain parameters. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, like you said, oh, it's 2 a.m., all right, going to DC, or 2 a.m., you're going to another country maybe.
Oh yeah. They'll call you and they'll be like, "Hey, listen, you're going to Paris." And you're just like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to be at the airport in 3 hours. Okay. Okay, fine. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
what what is so with that being said, and of course I know, like, like with you doing this for a few years, you've probably learned certain do's and don'ts, but what has kind of been like some or maybe like some of like the craziest times where you've been in the middle of something, and then it's like, all right, we need you.
Oh, so like if I'm actually out and they call me for work.
Yeah.
Hmm. There's not been too many times, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, because normally you can kind of gauge when they you after a while you gauge like
Okay.
when they will call you.
Yeah.
Um, I think the only time that I was really upset was when I was almost off in like 2 hours. Like my rap was gonna end within 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to go take my friends to this vegan bakery in DC. And I was like, you guys gotta come and try it. Like it's gonna be fun. I get a phone call. Listen, I was almost off. I had only 1 day left. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do what I want. I was so excited for these cupcakes. I don't think you understand. Like they're called Sticky Fingers and they're in DC. And I would
Ooh.
literally go like once a week because I was like addicted to like they put like crack or something in these cupcakes, y'all. It's like vegan crack. That's what they put in them. It was so good. I
Yeah.
was so mad. They wanted me to go to Alabama, and I'm just like y'all can't find nobody else. There is nobody else in this company that y'all can call.
Yeah.
You know, they even delayed the flight because it was actually illegal to call me because they had to give you a certain amount of time to get to the airport.
Mm,
So they didn't call. They called me within like an hour and a half of the report time that should have been, and I said, "Hey, yo, listen, I need my 2 hours. I'm not going." They're like, "Okay, disregard." They regarded it, called me back, and said, "Hey, we delayed this flight. You're gonna work it." And I'm like, I just wanted, but my friends they brought me back a cupcake
okay.
because they knew that I was so mad and so
Yeah.
pissed off. So yeah, I think that was the only time really, because normally like I'm doing with things within my means, or sometimes you get a notification way before or like the
Yeah.
night before sometimes, so you kind of know, but they'll call you at the last minute if they need to. They
Yeah.
will. They
Yeah.
will.
So with the way your scheduling stuff is, especially now, like I said, like being doing it for some years, um, like is it kind of is it I don't know if regular is the right word, but I guess is it kind of like a reoccurring thing towards like okay, you're working um X amount of time and then you have, a week off or whatever, like what is kind of like that ebb and flow of your schedule and stuff, like or is there any type of regularity?
So yeah, so you actually bid for your schedule a month and a half in advance.
Mm,
So there's a list of like they're called lines. So
yeah,
there's a list of lines that you can look at where you see certain trips and certain days that you might have off, certain times where you're working, and you just bid for what you want for that next month. Like sometimes I don't care because I have nothing to do, I have nothing planned.
yeah,
Other times I might be like, okay, I know that I need this weekend off. Let
yeah,
me go ahead and get bid for the lines that are complementary to that.
yeah,
Sometimes I don't get so lucky. Sometimes
yeah,
I got to do a little extra moving around. Sometimes I do get lucky. I get my first choice.
yeah,
So it just really depends. It also depends on the season too. So in the winter time and fall, it's so much slower than in the summer.
yeah,
So I can probably get more what I want in the fall and winter versus when I would in the summer or the spring
yeah,
because people aren't flying as much or they're yeah. So that's how it is. And you can stack up your days to where if you want to have 6 days on and then like 5 days off, or you
mm,
want to have 1 day on in between, you can do that too.
okay,
And I've done that. So say if I do want a list of days off, like towards the beginning or end of the month, I can switch out with other flight attendants, or I
mm-hmm,
can bid a certain schedule to where I have these days off and I can work as much as I want to.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, you can essentially make your own schedule, but sometimes trading is tricky. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
essentially, it's what you make it.
okay, okay,
Hmm.
cool. So we'll put a pin in there real quick because I'm gonna tie it all back together in a second.
We're gonna tie.
So let's take a trip down memory lane with Bam and your anime and manga journey. So where did that kind of start? And how long have you been into anime and manga? And
Mhm.
and yeah, so we'll just start with that.
So of course, the infamous tsunami when
Yes.
you didn't even know you were watching anime at the age of like 5 and 6. I was one of those.
Yeah.
That's my villain origin story right there. Um, I would have rushed home to watch Sailor Moon with my best friend every day. Like we would call each other and be like, "Are you watching it, bitch?" And we're just like, "Yes." Like, okay, like we got this.
Yeah.
Then I was, of course, Dragon Ball. Nobody knew Dragon Ball was anime. We just wanted to just blast a blue orb from our hands like
Yes.
Goku.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to do. As I got older, I was like, okay, I want to start drawing. I want to start writing about this. I started doing fan fiction. I started doing fan art.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went to an artistic school, so it was very,
Mm.
very talent oriented, and I guess it was molding that.
Okay.
And I just fell in love with it. I just absolutely loved it. I was like, I have a talent for this at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
I switched schools, and it was weird because the culture was completely different. Where I went from a very artistic setting where everybody was weird and everybody was just like they liked what they liked. I went to a more academic setting where it was more like
Yeah.
this is who you are, this is the box, and you're gonna fit in it.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had nobody to relate to anymore. I kind of lost my spark for it. I was like, I'm weird. Like, I'm a black girl that likes this kind of stuff. There's only one other black girl that I knew, and
Mm-hmm.
she would draw her own manga. She would draw her own like skits and everything. And I thought it was like the most like amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
But she was like, like nobody really cared because as black kids, like like if you are not loud and obnoxious and you're just not fitting into those stereotypes, you're weird and you're
Yeah.
an Oreo and you're white and this that because I listened to rock music. I was like I loved alternative music. I
Yeah.
loved trip pants. Like I was going to Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I was in Hot Topic all the time. And then I went to college, and it was even more of a culture shock because I went from a very diverse high school to now the black population at my school was like nothing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Um, so there was that right there. I was having an identity crisis because
Mm-hmm.
I go from seeing and hearing different languages and knowing about different holidays and cultures to literally these backwoods like racist white people that are just like n-word n-word n-word, but you're a good n-word and you're an exception of the n-word, and it's like okay, so then I
Yeah.
was trying to prove my blackness. I get out of that, I graduate, I go to Atlanta, and I was like, I'm trying to find a comfort. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I had an awful senior year. I go home, I take a year off. I'm like, okay, what is something that I enjoy, even if I was a kid, that makes me feel good? And so I started binging Naruto. I just started
Oh.
binging Naruto. I started watching from like beginning to like all the way to Shippuden, like all of that. Like
Yeah.
everything, And I learned so many lessons. Like it's crazy how these cartoons they teach you a lot.
Yeah.
They're very relatable. Like when Naruto was 12, I was 12.
Ooh.
Naruto was 16, I was 16. So it was I feel like it mirrored my life in a
Yeah.
sense. And it was very comforting. It was very nice. I will never watch it again because I know the first anime that I ever cried on. But then I was like, you know what? I shouldn't be ashamed of this. Like this is something that I enjoy. Like this
Yeah.
is nice. Like I find enjoyment in watching this. And then I went to the live tweeting, and then I went to the videos, and now here we are. Here
Yeah.
we are in 2022. Here we are.
Awesome. Awesome. That's very dope, and it. Uh, I can relate to a lot of things that you just talked about and stuff. Cause side story for Robert real quick, cause you talking about shocks and stuff when you got to college and stuff. So I'm trying. There's a chance I might have maybe mentioned this at some point in the podcast. If I did, you're about to hear it again. Um, but so my first time when I went to school, moved in or whatever, and when I first got there, whatever, I was because so the way my dorm was set up, it was kind of like apartment style to where
Yeah.
it was four of us. Each of us had our own separate bedrooms, and we shared the
Yeah.
common area
And
and stuff,
did you have
whatever.
two bathrooms on each side?
Nope, just one bathroom.
Or just one bathroom? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, but at the time, I was the only black kid in my apartment. Three other white guys.
Been there.
They ended up being cool, but first night impression. So I get there, like I said, I'm just in my room chilling or whatever.
Hmm.
Pretty much I get there whatever because I had no car or whatever. So it was like my uncle dropped me off. Goodbye. I'm stuck in Marshall, Texas for the next 2 years.
Dang.
Not really. People came and got me between there, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, hey, all right, bye, I love you. Um, and so first night, I'm just my room door is closed, whatever, just because I'm nervous because I've always been the kind of quiet, nerdy guy, whatever. So I'm just sitting in my room chilling or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I'm hearing all this kind of like techno music and stuff, whatever. So I'm like, what is going on out there? So I like crack open my door. It is pitch black, and I just see glow sticks. So some of my roommates and a lot of their friends that came over, whatever, they had glow sticks. Some of them had like cut the glow sticks, and so like the liquid and stuff, whatever, was all over the ceiling and wall.
I'm whooping ass.
So this is
Like,
my first night here, and I am like closed door.
all right, like this, I'm in it. I'm in it. Like, I am in this.
But
Like,
but luckily, they all ended up being cool. They all ended up being anime fans and tech nerds and stuff, whatever. So I'm like, okay, it worked out in the long run. But like I said, my first night, you getting dropped off, you're the only person of your race in a room, and you creak up on your door and you just see glow sticks
you just see glow
and
sticks. This
techno
is
music,
like,
and you're like, oh my god.
is this white culture? Like, is this, am I immersed in white culture? Like, is this what they do behind closed doors? Like,
Yes. And so yeah, so that was my first store or my first night in college. Like I said, just huge culture shocks, but of course, like I said, like over the time, months and years or whatever, grew
hmm
to love them all or whatever. We all super cool or whatever, and of course, we had people swap out and come and go, and the ties changed to where went from
hmm
being me, one black guy, three white roommates to oh lord, what was it over time? It was two black guys, white, Hispanic, and then pretty much by the time I left there, it was two black guys and two Hispanic guys. So it
yeah,
was
it was trying to get diverse. It was a little diversity,
we shifted. It just got weird. But anyway,
a little bit.
that was my little tangent with that story. So
No, you're okay. No, because
uh,
it's so relatable. Like to being like especially the only like black person on top of the only person that's not white somewhere. Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's very intimidating because you can't even bounce off any kind of experience with anybody else that's not white. You're just kind of like, here's you and your walls, and you're just like, okay,
yes,
like this, like, like wow, where's the Armageddon? Please, where are you coming back? Like, let me know. Like,
yeah.
so I get it. I honestly getting the culture shock thing. It's absolutely an experience that's almost indescribable.
Yes,
So,
though I will say over my time there, of course I met a lot of other people like me, like us and stuff, whatever.
hmm
And I got to give a shout out to my homies, Dre and Gooch, especially Gooch. I know you listen, so
you listening,
what's
Gooch?
up, homie? Uh, so I met my homie Gooch through our mutual friend Dre, because Gooch was a semester ahead of us or whatever,
hmm
but we were all in the same IT program and stuff, whatever. And so their dorm room, because they were in the 2 person only dorm rooms or whatever, and so it
Mm-hmm.
was a complete other like reverse culture flip to where it's all hip hop and watching basketball and football, we chilling or whatever, and stuff. So and I gotta say this real quick. My homie Gooch. Funny thing is that Gooch he was very structured, which
hmm
is why he's awesome, and he was super smart and stuff. Cause hey, he had a schedule, and Gooch needs a nap, he gonna take a nap.
He gonna take a
But
nap.
I never forget. Most afternoons when we would go over there, or whatever. If he was in the living room, or whatever, Dre like, oh, Gooch is asleep or whatever. And so most of us, we just be in the living room. It's a bunch of us just in there, just chilling, hanging out, having a good time,
hmm
whatever. Whenever Gooch woke up, he would turn on his music. He had his little sound bar thing right next to his bed, so he would crank up bass booming and stuff, whatever. So everybody knew, up, Gooch is
He's up.
awake.
He's awake.
He's awake. All right, let's get the party started. So, shout out to you, Gooch.
Shout out to Gooch. Hey, Gooch. Hello. A friend of his is a friend of mine. Hello, hello.
Yes, yes. Um, so yeah, so Bam, back to you and the anime. So okay, so you went through your journey and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and what I kind of want to tie in the two with your work and with the anime and stuff is like how much, if any, has you constantly been on the go, kind of like changed or affected like how you consume media in general, whether it's anime, reading manga, TV shows, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How has that kind of been for you?
It's been a huge adjustment, especially nowadays where my focus is really content creation.
Mm-hmm.
Before, like I was trying to do like parody videos in my hotel rooms, like editing in my hotel rooms, like I'm watching shows on my overnights. I mean, I'm able to more so actually watch and consume it that way instead of
Mm-hmm.
actually like trying to put work into it.
Yeah.
But you have to find ways. Like when I'm on my overnights and say I'm somewhere for 24 hours, I can probably make like a little quick TikTok before I go and explore,
Yeah.
or I can do something like if I haven't been called that day and I'm just chilling at the house, I can do something just real quick. And that's what I like about TikTok too, is where
Mm-hmm.
you can do so much in such a little amount of time.
Yeah.
Because I used to do videos where I'm shooting like multiple characters and I'm switching my wigs and wardrobe, and I don't have the time to do that nowadays. Like I
Yeah.
just don't have the time, and if I do, sometimes I'm tired. Like I
Yeah.
just came back from like last week I was just in Ireland, and I'm like, y'all, I need like 3 days to recover from this jet lag.
Yeah.
Literally, Ireland is 5 hours ahead of New Jersey.
Yeah.
So at 8 in the morning there, it was like 11, 12. I don't know what time at
Yeah.
night for. So I was just, you know what I mean? So it's my body has to adjust.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I don't eat how I need to. So it is harder, like right now, especially that I'm trying to make it a focus
Yeah.
to do content. But I'm still trying. I'm still doing it. I try to be active on spaces. I try to stay relevant by posting my TikToks. I'm actually now a brand ambassador now. Shout out to Kawaii Goodness.
Yeah.
Please go on there and shop, guys. I just got the cutest purse ever. And if I had it with me, I do have it. It's actually over there in the corner. I'll show it in a
Yeah.
second. Or I can post my TikTok.
Yeah.
But I just bought an amazing purse from them. It's nice. I love the material. Go on there, Kawaii Goodness on Instagram. KawaiiGoodness.com. You can also use my promo code BAMELA, BAMELA, to get 10% off your purchase.
Awesome.
So there's that. There's little things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even posting TikToks and videos and stuff and still advertising for, companies. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's ways to do this.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you don't have the time, there's always some kind of time.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, it's been a struggle. It's been a huge struggle because my stability is completely different now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can't do the long drawn out videos that I'm used to, but there's also ways around that to where right now I gotta grind. Like even though there's a bag to be made in this, I
Yeah.
still have a bag to make.
Yeah.
So I'm using my career and I'm using this to my advantage. You know what I mean? Since I do get flight benefits, I can go to conventions and fly for free. So
Yeah.
especially with Anime Weekend Atlanta, I did that with DreamCon. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, one thing I don't have to worry about is flights.
Yeah.
That saves me a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if I can't do it online, I try to show up in person because I know that I can control that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with conventions. Like I'm trying to make an effort to really get my face out there and network and like let people know like this is my job, this is what I do, this is
Yeah.
how I tie it in. You know what I mean? How can these two worlds collide?
Yeah.
And that's me. That's what I'm trying to portray for people. Like if you don't have a conventional job, if you are struggling with like trying to keep up, there are ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are ways and I'm here to like help you through that. It sucks and it's hard,
Yeah.
but it is manageable and it is doable and it is possible.
Yeah.
It so
Yeah. I like that. I like that. And so with and actually, because you saying that just gave me another question for you. With the conventions and stuff, have you gone to any conventions in other countries?
no, I haven't and I want to because there's some conventions in London that I know about now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the company I work for has a base in London. So
Mm,
there's flights to London all the time.
yeah.
Like it's no big deal to go to London. So I'm so excited to go to a London convention whenever it happens, it happens. But
Yeah.
that's next on my list is go to a convention in London. I think they just had one. I forgot what it's called. Sorry, the name
Hmm.
escapes me. But they just had something over there. And I
Yeah.
was like, and I saw black people. Of course there's black people everywhere. But I saw black people. And
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I gotta put this up. Like God, you got me. Like,
Yeah.
please, I want to make this a thing. And I know people over in the UK. There's actually someone that went to DreamCon. Shout out to you, LS. Shout out to you. Um,
Yep.
and I want to link up with him when I go back because that would be crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's what anime does.
Yeah.
It brings the world together. You know, so it's such an exciting thing to think about. Like I'm so ready to go and have an international convention. Like, ah!
Yeah.
Yes, just thinking about it.
Yes, for sure. And I'll say double shout out to LS because I also got to meet him at DreamCon and once again was very surprised that he knew who I was and it was at his booth because Steve from It
Yeah.
Mob was at his booth
Mhm.
with him or whatever. And then when we was introducing to each other, Steve was like, "Oh yeah, this is Rob. Dan needs to talk." And he gave me he LS gave me the biggest hug. He was like, "Oh yeah, I know you do." I was like, "Okay." So shout out to you,
Yes,
man.
like I said, you just never know. Your voice reaches. You know what I mean? You never know
Yeah,
the influence that you have on people and who knows you and where your name is in certain rooms. So you just got to keep
exactly,
doing what you're doing, man. Somebody's watching. Somebody is
exactly,
always watching. Yeah.
exactly. And so with you being on the go and stuff, do you have? I guess like when it comes like for watching stuff, whether it be anime or regular TV, or
Mhm.
reading manga or books, do you have a preferred thing? Is like okay, this is a little bit easier to consume when I'm on the go, or is it still just whatever you're in the mood for is just what you're gonna go for?
Um, I mean, of course, like watching definitely is easier to consume than reading. It's a different kind of concentration.
Yeah,
Um, Normally when I'm on the go, like if I'm at work or something, normally I'm just like focusing on either working out,
yeah,
exploring, finding a new restaurant if I've never been there before, doing new things. It's mostly when on my downtime, that's when
yeah.
I try to consume as much as I can. Like I catch up on My Hero. I want to start the JJK manga.
Hmm.
That's when like especially with spaces too cuz most of the time I'm in the air or something during spaces, but if I'm not,
Yeah,
I make time for that too just to kind of like pop in so people can hear my voice and like I can talk. But yeah, it would definitely like watching.
yeah,
But if I'm on the go, normally it's like I'm in work mode. Like anime just and manga is just gonna have to go on the back burner. Like I said, but I might
yeah,
do TikTok. So I mean it just really just depends on like how much time. But
yeah.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
that because and with you saying that that definitely makes sense because for sure if you're traveling or if you're in a new place that you haven't been before, yeah, probably you know what let's see what's going on out here versus oh
Yes.
I'm in a whole new country for the first time. Let's catch up on some anime. It's like nah, let's get out here and
Yeah, like no, let's go. Let's take a nap and
yeah,
go out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Listen, because when I tell you I didn't know that Oregon had some good wine, listen. Was I worried about My Hero in Oregon? I was not. I was at two wineries in Oregon, okay? And I brought me home a bottle.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I have to have balance with it
yeah,
because it starts to feel like a job with anime. It starts to feel like, oh, people are depending on me. People want to see my content. So I got to do this, I got to do that.
yeah,
And you get burnt out. We all
yeah,
we can all talk about burnout. We can all talk about that. And I felt like this was starting to become a job and I'm like, I don't like it was I was young
yeah,
and like I said, it was something that I wanted to do for fun, something I wanted to do to bring people together. But then it's
yeah,
like with the transition with my job and everything, it took a lot out of me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I lost a lot of freedom at the same time. I gained some, but I also lost a lot.
yeah.
And I think that was also something that I had to adjust to. And so that ran into my motivation for my creativity.
Hmm.
I really took like a year or two hiatus, to be honest. Like I'm
Yeah.
just now, like within the last year,
Hmm.
I'm really just now starting to like get back
Yeah.
into my creative flow. And now I feel like I do have a community now, whereas I was making videos and I really didn't have any connections. I was just kind
Yeah.
of making videos. I had a friend, had one friend here, one friend there, and I was getting the views. But now I feel like I don't get as many views, but I have much more support here.
Yeah.
So instead of me trying to go from, all right, I'm just chilling and I've just started this video and I have all this like virality, I guess,
Yeah.
and but no support. Now I've kind of like, I'm steady, my motive, like it's very stable now,
Yeah.
and I have people to back me up, and now I have more connections, I have more networking, I have more opportunities,
Hmm.
where it's a nice slower growth for me. And I
Yeah.
think that like when I first started out, I wanted those views and those numbers again.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to connect with those people. You know, I wanted to reach thousands.
Yeah.
Although I know I still have that capability, that impatience comes too.
Yeah.
So now I feel like, also with where I'm at in my life and
Hmm.
being 27 and wanting more stability and wanting like a career out of this, I'm a little
Yeah.
bit more patient with myself because I
Yeah.
know I have talent. I know that I can do things, but now it's more so I have priorities,
Yeah.
you know, and the priorities will always come before my craft, because if I don't have that foundation together, then
Yeah.
there's no way I can sit here and make a career out of this.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. That's where I am now. I feel like a lot of my friends can relate to that in the community. Maybe you can even relate to it, Rob,
Yeah.
where there is a bag in this, but let me get my ducks in a row right here
Yeah.
before I can really take off with this content stuff,
Yeah.
you know? So that's like really the mindset that I have now.
Yep, I definitely agree with you, and that has definitely been something like as with me kind of like being new into this space and stuff, whatever that I've kind of
Mhm.
learned over. I've been this what a year and a half. I've
Mhm.
been doing this and stuff at this point, and it definitely, like I said, yeah, I've, and I'm glad I have kind of been learning and picking up on stuff now versus later, cause like
Yeah.
everything like you said, from just like learning like self-care, slowing down. It's like, okay, you know what, you don't have to get this video or that content out right now, whatever. Get your rest, get your life and family stuff in order first, and then whenever you get that video or that content out or whatever, the people that want to see it will see it whenever it goes out. So that definitely has been like something I've been kind of like having to make that mental shift even for
Yeah.
myself, as far as
Mhm.
like, it's like, okay, cool, yeah, I got this review out in time for when it hit store shelves, but it's
Mhm.
like I was up all night. Now I got to be up, getting the kids ready for school and going to work, and it just like snowballs very quickly. Like especially like for me, it's like if I mess up and I stay up too late recording or whatever, it's gonna take me some days to recover, because it's just like,
Exactly.
because especially like with the unpredictable nature of my life, to where it's like, okay, not only is it just the normal day-to-day stuff, but it's like, up, one of the kids got sick, and that can also quickly domino to where it's like,
Yeah.
there's 5 kids in this house. If one of them gets sick, if we don't pay attention, somebody else is gonna make us rounds. And
Exactly. It's a duality to it all. It's a
yes,
balance. Yeah.
yes. So, but yeah. So with that being said, and like you said, like with kind of like finding, that balance and stuff, um, I guess kind of like looking maybe like near future, sort of, or whatever. Do do you see yourself doing the flight attendant and stuff, whatever, for a while longer, or you just
Mhm.
kind of just like, just, hey, we just kind of just going with the flow and see how things go?
Mhm. So, I actually don't want to be a flight attendant forever.
Yeah.
I think that this job is amazing. I think it's great, but I also think that it's starting to get to a point where I'm outgrowing a lot of what is in my life. I think when I first started, I didn't have a sense of direction on what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and now that I see like this, I want to dedicate my time to this over here,
Yeah.
it's starting to become like, all right, Bam, you got to make a decision. You got to make a choice. It doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, but eventually I would like to get out of the air. I don't mind staying in aviation.
Yeah.
Like I really like aviation. I actually like the industry. I wouldn't mind that, but to actually be a flight attendant, I think, sometimes it's okay to clip those wings a little bit
Yeah.
and come to the ground and just walk on your feet for a minute,
Yeah.
but and then when it comes to content creation, that's really what I want to focus on because I
Hmm.
just feel as though I'm seizing, like I said, I'm seizing those opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm creating opportunities for myself. I'm starting to see that like this is something that I can do. This is something that I have a passion for.
Yeah.
And shout out to my friends. I mean, shout out to Panda and Kelsey and
Yes.
Mike and Nay, both Nays.
Yeah.
Shout out to like them for sure because they have been such huge motivators in my life and they've been there since day one. Been like especially Mike and Sine because
Yeah.
they were there when I first was doing my videos in 2019 and they are now like their family.
Yeah.
So I know that I have that support system.
Yeah.
And my job right now, like I said, there's a lot of difficulties and a lot of like obstacles
Hmm.
that I have to maneuver around to want to do full content creation. Granted, like I said, I can do my own schedule,
Yeah.
but this job is very, especially right now with summer flying, it can kind of leave you just a little jaded.
Yeah.
Would I miss it? Of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it. But I know when it's time for me to leave something.
Hmm.
And it's about that time,
Yeah.
so I'm not impatient about it. I don't really I don't have any other jobs in mind right now.
Yeah.
Like whatever opportunities come, they come. I think this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where God wants me. I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not. Yeah, it's not something like I don't want to be a singer mom. Like, oh, I'm 25 years in, girl, and they over here making like 100K a year. That's fine and dandy, honey.
Yeah.
That's fine for you, Miss Myrtle. I see you, Mr. Terrence. I see you. You've been here since the planes was built, honey. You old. Okay, you're old. Okay. You created the service that I'm doing right now. Listen, I don't no, that's just not my testimony. That's not on my heart.
Yeah.
I want my voice to reach millions. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to voice like little game characters. I would love, of course, we all want to voice anime. Of course, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to be on commercials. I want to do like this is where I know I belong.
Yeah.
But this job right now is paying the bills. It's
Yeah.
paying the bills. Trust me, I am fine, honey. I am good.
Yeah.
But there is a time limit for
Yeah.
everything. It is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I like that. And actually, okay. So another thing I want to ask you too, with the of course, with you getting to travel and different things like that. Has there been a or how many more places uh that are maybe like on like your bucket list as far as like, oh, okay, I haven't gotten to go here, whether it be a country or a state
mhm.
here or whatever, like, or is there any like, okay, but hopefully, if you're able to on your dream board,
Mhm.
okay, these are my places left and you've been checking them off over the years,
Yeah.
what are some big locations left for you?
So, Seattle, Washington, actually. I've never been
Mm,
to Seattle. I would love to
really?
go to the original Starbucks and get my like complicated ass order and they get it right because they're the original Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's where I want to go. I want to go to Iceland. That was my next one.
Mm,
Because I told myself, I was like, I want to go to London. I finally went to London. I was like, I want to go to Dublin. I finally went to Dublin. Now I want to go to Iceland because I want to be in that big lagoon that everybody loves to go to and just get in there and like we go there. And I'm like,
yeah.
I need to be in that lagoon right now. That's where I
Yeah.
want to go. Iceland. Um, I'm trying to think on like I guess I, there's so many places. Um, I think my third place would have definitely be Brazil. So hopefully in the near future, as I'm speaking this,
Yeah.
Seattle's coming, Iceland is coming, and I have to go to Brazil, man. I
Yeah.
have to. Like it's a done dot. I've been wanting to go for years now. I
Yeah.
wanted to go for my birthday, and I was like, well, maybe next time,
Yeah. So,
maybe.
out of curiosity, because and of course, this is me asking as an outsider or whatever. But it feels it just sounds weird to me that it's like you've been doing it for a few years, but you haven't been on a flight to Seattle yet.
Like not
How?
even leisurely, man. Not even because I've been like not even leisurely. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like as much as I like to say we go everywhere, sometimes you don't go everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're really just you're going to Orlando
Yeah.
or you're going to Nashville or you're
Yeah.
going to New York. You know what I mean? Sometimes like it's where they want you to go. It's really
Yeah.
where they want you to go. Because when I started out, I was actually regional, so I was only going to a certain states in
Uh,
certain like parts of the United States. Now that I'm with a bigger company, now I'm like going. I'm going. I mean, my
okay.
first trip was to the DR with this job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I remember I was they changed my schedule completely. I was supposed to go to Chicago. Crew scheduling calls me and they're just like, "You're going to Naples." And I'm like, Naples, Italy or Florida? Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. They're like, you're going to Italy. And I'm like, okay, they're like, go get your COVID test. Click. And I'm like, oh, so this is real
Yeah.
life. And that's when for this job, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, I'm really here. Like
Yeah.
Naples,
Yeah.
Italy, like as a black girl, American black girl that's like 20, like six. Like I'm working. And it was absolutely amazing. My crew was great. Oh my,
Yeah.
it was such a beautiful city. Oh my gosh, if I could do it again, if I could rewind the hands of time, man,
Yeah.
I would go. I would go.
Okay.
I
See.
would.
Okay. See. You explaining the region thing and stuff like that. That makes sense now because I'm like, how are you missing
How have I
Seattle?
not?
Because when you said it, I'm like, is there like a Seattle, Africa, or?
Like, girl, like what? Like, you was probably confused. Like, why did she say that? What?
Yeah.
Like
But
4 years
okay.
and you ain't been over there, girl? Like, you is really tripping.
Okay.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
That makes sense. But once again, like I said, it like I said, as like I said, as just a person asking the questions, that's just interesting. Like I said, it's just like, oh, okay, not knowing, of course, like I said, like the ins and outs of. Nope,
Mm-hmm.
I was just in like this one section here for a while before they were like,
Yes,
all right, you moved on or you moved up. Now you're everywhere, and so okay, that makes more
everywhere.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
What about any hopes or do you well, I guess it would be like within the realm of possibility of maybe even going to places like Japan or Australia.
Yes, of course. I've been wanting to go to Australia for a minute. We do fly to Australia. We just don't fly out to Australia out of New Jersey, but
Mm,
we do fly to Australia like out of like LA and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure Houston. That's what I want to say.
okay.
Houston as well. But oh yes, Australia. I definitely want to go to Australia. Like I don't know why, but I'm just like I'm drawn to them, even
Yeah.
though the geography is quite literally made from hell itself and their spiders are the size of like a condo and their ants are the size of a tractor trailer. Like I don't know why I want to go. I don't know why I want to go, but I do. Japan, of course. We all know we want to go to
Yes.
Japan. Like, you know what I
Yes.
mean? And I'm so ready to go. I'm hoping to get a trip there. I would love to pick up a trip there. Like that is my dream. I want
Yeah.
to go. But, like I said, I can be patient with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a long flight too. That is a long flight. Like it's like 13,
Yes.
15 hours. Like, oh my gosh. But I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we go all the way to India. You know what I mean? We go
Yeah.
all the way to India from New Jersey. So we definitely go to Japan and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's oh yeah, Japan. Y'all won't even know what to do with me. Y'all saw Megan Thee Stallion in Japan. That's gonna be me with times 10. Like I'm gonna be everywhere. I'm gonna be everywhere and nowhere. Y'all gonna be mad at me. Like, where's Bam? Y'all know where she is. Actually, we don't. So, like,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay.
And uh and speaking of Australia, real quick, shout out. I gotta give a shout out to my homies over at Lords of Dorktown podcast because
No.
they're based out of Australia. And I got to do a podcast with them. Was that earlier this year, last year? So sometime in the last year, I had did an episode with them, and even just podcasting with somebody on the other side of the world
That's
was
crazy.
a wild experience because it was
What
like
time was it over there?
so. It, it, it's so weird to even think about because like they are so far ahead of us that it feels like they're behind us because and I'll never forget when I finished recording with them, it
Mhm.
was like it was like maybe like 1 or 2 a.m. here in Texas, but it was
Mhm.
like 5 or 6 p.m. What I get,
God.
I'm pointing behind me, but it's technically I guess it's like 5 or 6 p.m. the next day,
Wow.
and so it felt so weird that I'm like oof because we did it on a um it would have been a Saturday night for me, so Sunday,
Mhm.
so I guess that'd been Sunday afternoon for him.
A Sunday evening, yeah, for
And
them.
so it was weird because I'm like, oof, it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I'm supposed to go to bed. And he's like, all right, I'm supposed to, got to get the kids and stuff ready for dinner. So I'm like, okay. And it was just so
Gotta get ready
weird.
for dinner. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. So,
The
but
down under. I don't know how to
yes.
like
And,
do their accent.
oh, and speaking of which, I got my Australian nickname was Robbo. So that was a new one for me.
Bravo.
Yes.
I don't know how to, I can't like I feel like my English accent and my Australian accent, they just like got married and now this is what it is. Like I don't know. I'm down under. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Australians, they're just like if like they're like country people, but like if it was taken to the extreme. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm from Nashville and I be hearing some like real country twang where I'm from because I'm
Yeah.
from Nashville. But I feel like Australia is what it is if it was like taken to the extremes. Like I don't know. Like, cause I'm just like, I see how you talk and I feel like I relate. Like I feel like people from Baltimore, how they be like, do you like I feel like they from the UK.
Yeah.
I feel like if they were to go up there and talk to them, they could have a good conversation and
Yeah.
understand each other. But when I go up to the UK, I gotta start talking slow because they feel like we don't know how to talk. When
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's y'all that don't know how to talk. And it's like we just having like diaspora wars or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I don't even know. So it's like I'm gonna just leave it to the Baltimore folks to go to the UK and
Yeah.
translate, and I'm gonna go to Australia because
Yeah.
I feel like they can understand me.
Yeah.
That's how that's how I feel. Okay.
So next time I'm curious about too with you and work and stuff. How because especially because you started in 2019. How wild was things when we get into 2020 and COVID and all this stuff starts happening? What was that insanity like and stuff for you?
Oh my god, it sucked because I worked during COVID. Like
Yeah.
I worked the entire time during. I didn't get furloughed. I was very close, but I didn't get furloughed.
Yeah.
Work was awful. Like it was. I mean, I was getting pulled in five different directions because they over furloughed people. Well, it's not they over furloughed people.
Yeah.
It's the fact they didn't take into account that people would early retire, people wouldn't come back, and people quit just cold turkey.
Yeah.
So they didn't factor that into it. So with the furlough on top of all of this,
Yeah.
we're getting pulled in a million and five directions. I'm having 5 flights a day with like minimum rest overnights. With even though nobody was flying, some of the people that were flying were absolutely insane and insensitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it that I feel like that was really the beginning of my villain arc. And I feel like that gave me just a new appreciation for
Yeah.
my job and for us. And it does leave you just a little bit jaded. It did because I was like, wow, like even through the midst of this pandemic where I can get sick and I can get my family sick, I'm still working because I need the money.
Yeah.
And you guys don't even have enough audacity to sit there and just even be like, thank you after I pass out some ginger ale or your diet coke, Miss Marie. Like, come on. Like I and you
Yeah.
don't want to say thank you to me, or you don't want to be like, hello, good morning, how are you? You know what I mean? It was just very, it was a, you just saw. and actually now is when you're seeing people's true colors when it comes to flying, because flying after the pandemic is actually worse than during or before,
Yeah.
because the clientele that we're getting are people who never used to fly, or who first time flyers, or they've been cooped up in the house and they want what they want and they have some kind of freedom now and they feel like you're
Yeah.
their servant. Like it's a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, it was fine. I mean, there was some times where there was no flights a day out of the airport, and
Yeah.
I would be on call, and I would go out with friends, or I would go home, or I would sleep. And I mean, I even got a second job during it. I was a
Mm.
server at this like bowling arcade, and it was
Ooh.
ghetto. It was ghetto. I tell you, it was yeah. I mean, it was a lot of us in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, like, I love y'all, but yeah, you know, I was making money,
Yeah.
but that's how much it slowed down. Like, I had a life.
Yeah.
I had a different life when I didn't have to work, and I could actually go and make my own schedule with serving, and I could get, like, money, you
Yeah.
know? But and then now it's like, yeah, everybody wants to fly.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Can y'all go back in the house? Please. Go sit down."
Yeah.
Like, the Bahamas will be there. Cancun will be there. You know how many times that where people are going through the airport and I'm like, oh, they're connected through Miami. And next thing I see their connection to Cancun. Y'all are going to Cancun yourself to death. Please, there are other countries. There's Costa Rica,
Yeah.
Colombia. Please leave Mexico alone. Mexico told me itself to leave them alone. Please stay out of Mexico.
We Mexico's like, wait, we are at capacity.
We have been at capacity. We are actually we're over.
Yeah.
We're so full. Please get out. And Jamaica's feeling it too. You but leave Jamaica out of this. Leave Jamaica out of this. The DR is like, all right, there's y'all are fine, but Jamaica and Mexico, leave them alone, please.
Uh,
Man, Rob, you funny, bro. I'm over here having a good time.
you are
I need to
too.
pull up something. Now you make me want to pull up something. Shit.
So, oh my God. Yeah. So, we're going to take a very short break, but when we come back, we're going to dive into what we've been watching, what we've been reading, and all that other fun stuff. So, give us just a moment and we'll be right back. What's up, y'all? And we're back from our lovely little break. So, we're about to start diving into what we've been reading and watching, but before we do, I'm gonna show off. So, y'all know, those of y'all that's been listening or watching for a while, y'all know that my wife is a fellow nerd, and so of course she's always on the lookout for for goodies for your boy, and so she sent me a picture the other day of this pop figure. It is a Infinity Killmonger.
Dun,
So
da, da, da.
so when she sent me the picture, I'm thinking, normal size pop figure by the way the picture was taken. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, I get home, and I don't know if I can even get this all in the frame, and it's this size.
Yes, we love to see it.
So in case y'all missed that, the comparison, normal size pop figure
And then
and that. So I was shocked and very, very surprised because I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just put them up here behind me next to the other ones. Now I'm like, where does he go?
where are we gonna put this? Like, what do I do with this?
Yes. So
Like,
okay, I'm like, thank you, very, very awesome. But I'm like, yo, this thing is freaking humongous. So
it's huge. I can't even like lie. It's huge.
so yeah, so I got that, and then she also found this Loki. It's a pop pin, which I never even heard of
Yo, she's
pop
coming
figure
with
pins.
gems. She's coming with the gems.
Yes. Yes, very much
A1.
so. So yeah. So this is Kid Loki. So, but shout out to the wife. For keeping your boys nerdiness fed. So going from there. So Bam, what has been some stuff you've been watching and or reading lately?
So I definitely finished Classroom of the Elite a few weeks ago. I finished season one. I did not know
Okay.
season two was out until like last night. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, let me get on this.
Yes.
Of course, I've been reading My Hero. I
Mm-hmm.
caught up to that. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Like, oh my gosh, I can just
Stress.
earlier this year, not earlier this year, but earlier this summer, I finished Spy Family, and I was also reading it. Yeah, so I think that I'm really ready to watch Classroom of the Elite season two. I think that's what I'm gonna watch like as soon as we get off of here because I did
Awesome.
not know. Like, I'm behind clearly,
Yeah.
but I'm probably gonna like get into that because I'm so ready.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready for to see where Ayana Koji. I need to like, who is this kid? What is
Yeah.
the story behind him? If you guys haven't watched Classroom of the Elite, please. Like, everybody was talking about it, and I was like, whatever. I gave it a chance, y'all. Please ride the wave. Please ride this wave, y'all. Like, it is not going to disappoint you. Like,
Yeah.
I've not seen something like it. I love the concept.
I'm also a newer person to it as well because I also watched it. Um, I think yeah over the summer as well in the lead up to season two coming out because it's one that I've always in the lead up to the new season coming out or whatever, because of course I'm hearing, because speaking, we mentioned them earlier, Mike and Sine from Blanime, they was talking about it coming back,
Hmm.
and some other people and stuff, and so I'm like, okay, I've heard of this anime for a while. Let me check it out, and same as you, I really enjoyed watching that first season, and I've enjoyed what I've watched so far of, I think, am I? Yeah. I'm caught up with where the second season is now, and I've still been enjoying it and stuff as well. So yeah, definitely a good recommendation on that one.
I'm so excited. Like, I cannot wait. Like, as soon as we get done, I'm literally gonna be wig coming off. I'm watching, I'm streaming. You feel me? Like,
Yes.
I'm so excited for this anime. I mean, I don't think I've been this engrossed in something in a long time. I
Yeah.
really don't. Like, I feel like I watch it just to consume the content so I can talk about it,
Yeah.
but to actually sit there and enjoy and something unraveling the way that the story is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so like happy. Like, I'm absolutely stoked. Oh my gosh! Like, they should have never told me that this season two came out because now I'm not talking to nobody. I'm ignoring everyone. I'm ignoring everybody. So yes, y'all, please watch it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Please, please, please. That's what I'm watching. Then My Hero, of course, I've been reading that. Not gonna spoil it because I used to be an anime only. I know a lot of people don't read the manga.
Yeah.
I'm just now becoming manga bam, but you guys need to read it. Please read it, please, because y'all, the spoilers are crazy. They're not sparing anybody's feelings around here. Okay,
Yeah.
please read it. Please catch up on it because you just need to.
Yeah. I'll on that or just in relation to with my hero, because this morning they also put out a new trailer for season. What are we going to season
Six.
six?
Yeah.
So and just seeing certain scenes and stuff animated in that trailer, certain characters, certain moments, it was like, all right, we are
Man.
one month away because it's starting October 1st, so a
Yeah.
Saturday as it always
It's
is.
coming, man.
But I'm ready for the chaos. I'm ready for the timeline to be in tears, um,
Shambles.
over certain things, and
It's really
so
dark. It's dark.
yeah,
You guys, like, if you haven't like caught up, and you don't plan on catching up, that's fine. But My Hero is gonna get dark.
yeah,
It is. It's gonna get very, very. It's gonna give you Naruto Shippuden, like Shippuden vibes. Like,
mm,
it. I can't even stunt. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, y'all. So just be prepared. That's all I'm gonna say. Just be prepared. Like, please,
Yes.
please.
Um,
Um,
I'm trying to think. Cause you said My Hero, Spy Family. Now that is definitely something. How and I'll just give this caveat real quick or whatever. We might talk about some spoilers. If we do, y'all know I always put timestamps for everything, whatever. So if you see a timestamp for Spy Family, just know we might have spoiled or get into some stuff, whatever. But just because it's rare that I get to talk with somebody else who is also caught up with the manga and stuff, or that at least reads the manga. Um, because I think you mentioned before we recorded, you don't know if you're 100% current or you're close to current.
yeah, because I want to say the last thing that I read, because it's been a minute since I read it, but I
Mm-hmm.
did, because I remember I did stop because I was caught up, but now
Yeah,
I feel like I probably am not. I want to say I would have to look where I stopped though.
yeah.
Um, it was some scene with so he went to take the dog to the park or something.
Frankie.
And I think that's yeah, I think that's one of the last things that I read, but I'm not sure if whatever fight it was actually after that or before.
Trying to think
Cuz it was
cause I did
how
enjoy that
did
because it was the Frankie and Bond that
yes.
that is something that I've been enjoying that they've been doing for the last little while. I feel like with the chapters is like they've been kind of doing some little like side stories with different characters, or they've been like mixing and matching characters of like, oh, I would have never thought
Mhm.
I wanted to see a chapter about Frankie and Bond both trying to pick up
Exactly.
some chicks at the park.
That's what I'm saying. And I want to say that's the last thing I read, but then I feel like there's more after that. I want to say.
There is
Then I gotta figure out if what I read was before or after because then I don't know if whatever happened on the ship was before or after
that
that.
was
With
before
their
that.
cruise. That was
Yeah,
before that? Okay. So
yeah,
then maybe
cause
I think that might have been where I last left was just them at the park. That
cause
might have been that.
um cause it was man, cause that ship thing was a pretty long arc. Cause that went on
It
for a
was very
while.
long. It was very long, and that's when you really see your like
Mhm.
push to her limits. Like
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see that animated, dude.
yeah,
That is gonna be crazy, and I hope they actually drag it out. Like I feel like that should be like at least like 6, 7 episodes.
yeah,
Like I would love to see that drawn. I mean, literally take your time with that
yeah.
because we see how goaded your is
Yes,
we
yes,
see how like we see why she is the like top assassin, y'all.
yes,
We
yes.
seriously do.
So let me see real quick, cause so it was the ship stuff. Then we got Lloyd's flashback.
Yes, we got his backstory. Pretty much, yeah, we got his backstory.
I was not now like we've kind of gotten hints, that something tragic or whatever happened with
Mhm.
Lloyd,
But I
but
wasn't expecting that.
yes, to get like that level of detail over across like several chapters, because that was also it of course wasn't as long as the ship thing, but it was still at least like maybe like a handful of chapters
Yeah.
of like seeing him in his childhood with his friends and how he ended up becoming
Hmm.
Twilight and all that stuff. That was just like really dope. And I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying these. Okay, let's kind of take some time. We had a nice long arc on the ship with Yor and all that stuff. Now let's kind of
Hmm.
slow it down and kind of go character by character. And like I said, we got Loe's backstory, and I think we might have had maybe like something else a little small in there, but then we also had the Frankie and Bond chapter,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think. It was either before or after, but they were kind of like the Frankie and Bond thing was kind of back to back. There was like a Anya with the head teacher chapter.
I want to say I saw. I think like he did he take her home? It was something like did he take end up taking her home to the apartment or something like that?
Something like that because I'm trying to think if it was some scenario as to why I think Anya had maybe I don't was it detention?
It was
It was
something.
something, but yeah, it was something that led to those two having a little chapter together. Which, like I said, once again, I'm like, okay, I didn't
Mhm.
know I would want a chapter of freaking Anya and the head teacher together. Like I said, just like Frankie and
Oh yeah, he
Bond,
wanted to like I guess promise her treats or something if she would help out. I think it was something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Maybe I have read ahead.
So, but but now there, yeah. So, but there has been something else since then. I won't even say what it is, but I'll say, based off of the little bit we just talked about, I know that you're going to love it. So feel free whenever you read the last couple chapters, hit your boy up because there's going to be something that you're going to want to talk about, and I'll just tease it at that.
Man.
So
Because I want to talk about it now, but I'm just like, I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up then because
yeah,
I've been all into the My Hero manga. I can't even
yeah,
stand.
yeah. Cause but
Like,
and the thing with Spy Family too, I think that kind of also like sometimes makes you forget like where you are with it. Because unlike My Hero and a lot of stuff, Spy Family isn't weekly. It's I think it's bi-weekly.
yeah, it's
Um,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
so it'll kind of like do a chapter every other week, and then they also will throw like a random break in there as well. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm the same way to where sometimes I'm like, wait, am I current? Am I a few weeks
That's what I'm saying.
behind?
Like, am I caught up? Like, I had to make sure because I kept checking and I was like, okay, they're not updating. So I guess they're on a break or on
Yeah,
hiatus. Like, I don't know. But now that you say that, now that I have confirmation to keep like on to keep reading, I'm like now I got to. Now I can
yes,
get back in my bag with it. That's what I got to.
yes,
And I just love the reception that it got. I mean, as soon as it hit the
yeah,
streets, the cosplays, I think my favorite is the family cosplays. Like I love that.
yes,
Like couples and then their kids. Like I was living for it. I was like, yes, this is it. I hope at AWA
hmm,
that there's gonna be some stuff like this because AWA is a bigger convention than DreamCon.
yeah,
So I'm excited to see what everybody has.
yeah,
So excited.
yeah. I was excited at what was it Fan Expo Dallas that I went to because that was a month before DreamCon. I met a little girl who was dressed up as Anya,
Oh
and
my
so it was just
god.
so adorable. And I, of course, I asked her mom. I was like, can I get a picture with her? Because it's just so adorable and stuff. So, but she just looked so cute and stuff. So I got a picture with her. But I'm trying to think. Now I'll ask. Did you want to talk about the My Hero stuff or no?
I mean, we can. Like, I
Yeah.
don't mind getting in my bag into that. I don't mind it. But it's
Yeah.
like
Let's
you gotta warn the people because y'all, like, if we get too much into it, we sorry. Disclaimer.
we
Disclaimer.
let's dive into it because we're like I said, I'll put a little bit of a timestamp that way y'all know. Hey, from here to here, My Hero spoilers. So yeah, let's go and just dive into it.
Let's get
So
into it. Let's
and
get into
this
it.
is now one thing I will say because we're recording this on Saturday, so I haven't read the most current chapter,
Yeah,
which
same. I think the website that I read it on, it actually has it updated today, but I don't read it until Sunday because that's when
yeah,
most of like the panels come out. It's
yeah.
tomorrow.
So okay,
So,
so as of the time of recording, 364 is the most recent chapter, but 365 will come out tomorrow after we're recording. So just keep
mhm.
that in mind. If something else that's crazy happening, you're like, why isn't Robin Bam talking about XYZ? So just know.
That's why.
So, but
This is why.
yes. So yeah. So go ahead, Bam. Take it away. What are your thoughts on the craziness that's been happening in the My Hero manga?
Man, I think that where I'm at with it, I need for him to explain why Edge Shot is becoming an organ. I just don't understand it. Like I feel I researched his quirk.
Yeah.
Like I researched it because I was highly confused. Also, shout out to Hubtaku, shout out to Lakenzu and Bonnie and Tam. Like shout out to you guys because they're the ones that are really like bringing these My Hero discussions to the timeline. So shout out to
Yeah.
Hubtaku. But with that being said, we were all discussing like what is it about Ed Shot's quirk that he's
Mm-hmm.
able to literally become a part of someone. I
Yeah.
was re it was so the ability escapes me, but the ability is actually a sub like ability from what it actually is or like his
Mm-hmm.
main ability to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So I need for this mangaka, like please, I need for you to explain to me how this is going to work because I honestly feel like bringing Bakugo back to life is an ass pull. I just, not that I would be okay if he stayed dead,
Yeah.
but it would just make more sense, and I think that that would be a huge catalyst for Deku's like hero like origin and why and he became the number one
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah.
Like a best friend death, I feel like that is not that it's vital, but we see that in so many different animes and we see how that shapes the character
Yeah.
and it unlocks whatever innate nature that they have inside of them
Yeah.
to really persevere, and that's their daily motivation.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I see why Bakugo died, and it's fine. Like, okay, but what is it about Edge Shot? Like, like nigga, like what? Like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
And I think that that's where I'm just kind of like, it's getting weird. It's getting weird because it's just not making sense. Now they also had a discussion in the space where they were comparing um um All for One, yes,
Yeah.
they're comparing because I love to get them mixed up like One
Yeah.
for All, wait, All for One, no. So they were comparing All for One's like random charge up with Aries quirk
Yeah.
to Bakugo's ass pull of resurrection.
Yeah.
And I feel as though of course we need that from All for One. I mean, I honestly feel like it would have been too easy
Yeah.
for him to have been defeated like that
Yeah.
by I think he was Endeavor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's who he
Endeavor.
was facing off of
Yeah.
because now I'm
Endeavor and
thinking it was
Hawks. Yeah.
I think it was Endeavor because I'm getting the panels mixed up. It's like was he fighting Hawks or
They
was
they
it like
they
who
they
was
were
it? But I'm
both
pretty sure it
there.
was Endeavor and Hawks. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. And so um I feel like that made more sense. I feel
Yeah.
like that he needed to do that as a last resort, even though he's erasing himself pretty much by using Aries quirk.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love a huge boss fight. I love a desperate villain.
Yeah.
I love someone that would, by any means, because I mean, it's the same on that side too. It's the same on the hero side. Like, by any means necessary. We saw what happened with Stars and Stripes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw what happened with Stars and Stripes. We saw what happened with even Midnight and everything that happened.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that these villains are not giving up. Like it's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see All for One and how he's going to like try to obliterate everybody. But I'm really disappointed in this Edge Shot thing. Like it's not clicking, and I
Yeah.
need for this next panel to dive into it.
Yeah. Cause
Need it.
like, cause I feel like while of course people still would have been upset or still would have caused uproar like it is now with
Mhm.
Bakugo coming back, but I feel like even if it was like, oh, surprise, Deku's final quirk has some resurrection thing, that would have been a
Mhm.
better explanation, whatever, versus like, oh, my a whole person is going to now I'm gonna be his
I'm
heart.
gonna be his heart. I would have been looking at him. I would have been best genius. Like, nigga, what? I'm like, did he write this in here, nigga? Is this your line? Like, did he
Cause
really come up with this?
yeah, cause I don't know, it just brings up so many questions just because it's like okay, like is he going to fully cease to exist, or is he going to be like still be able to like talk within
That's what I'm
Bakugo or
I'm saying, like,
something
is it
weird.
gonna be a part of his consciousness? Like, is it gonna be a subconscious?
Yeah,
Like, and I mean, does he have the ability to uncork himself to be a heart? Like, would he be able to? Because at the end of the day, we're still gonna have to heal Bakugo. They got to
yeah.
seal his body up, so somehow they're gonna have to actually seal him and everything. So on top of the fact that you're becoming this organ,
Hmm.
how are you gonna be protected within this human body?
Yes.
So I don't know how that's going to be explained, and I'm just like, and to be a heart to pump blood, like, are you becoming something hollow? Like,
Yeah.
how? Because at the end of the day, I feel like the heart is an inanimate object. That's how
Yeah.
I feel. I feel like it relies on everything else, like everything else in our body.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you just gonna be a thing?
Yeah.
Like,
It,
what
it
is
is.
this?
Yeah, it is. It's just so weird on so many levels because, and especially just because of the fact of like, it is edge shot now. Once again, like I said, top of the list of like stuff that people probably maybe saw coming was okay. Hey, Deku's last quirk heals him somehow. Deku shows up. Oh my God, Bakugo's dead. Last quirk unlocks. Boom, he's back.
Exactly.
Below that, I would also think because they have a relationship, Best Genius somehow is using his thread or something with that or whatever to revive him
Oh,
also versus
yeah.
like I said, it's just like, it would be different if it was like if Bakugo interned with Edge Shot or whatever versus Best Genius because it's like okay they have a
That's
relationship.
what I was thinking too, because I've never really seen Edgeshot and Bakugo interact like that.
Yep. Yep.
Like, I, I like I said, there's so many questions. A lot of us in the community have a lot of questions about this because it just really seems like he wanted Bakugo to live. Like, and I get it, but it's kind of like, me personally,
Yeah.
Bakugo is everybody's favorite. Bakugo is like the fan favorite for me.
Yeah.
I get it. But at the same time, him dying, okay, like,
Yeah.
all right, like, sweet kid, but I mean, shit happens. And I was okay with it. Like, I hated it. I hated the way he died, but
Yeah.
I was also very accepting of it because it's just like, man, like, as many times as I've seen characters die that I didn't want to,
Yep.
what makes Bakugo any different? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What really makes him any different? And like I said, with the anticipation of tomorrow, I'm gonna be like glued to my laptop because I'm like, what? I need the explanation.
Yeah.
I just don't know what direction the storyline is going in now. I just think that everybody's kind of like in this waiting room with it, kind of like I don't even know what to say. I'm just not entirely sure like what's the motive at this
Yeah.
point. Like, you know
And
what I mean? Like,
and plus it also just kind of just like once again it's like it's like okay like we're dealing with All for One and Shigaraki. Supposedly these if the series truly is at its end, okay, then it should be expected that hey, there's gonna be some major casualties across the
mhm.
board that's gonna happen. But it's like
Mhm.
I feel like you know things started kind of like turn a bit, even going back to a while back when Mario got his quirk back, and
Yeah.
it was like okay, which once again I love Mario, but it's also that thing of like consequences or whatever. Now it's like okay, all right, hey, here you go, Mario. Here's your quirk back. Once again,
Right.
we always knew that was a potential possibility, especially with when you have a character like Eri in the series. You know
Mhm.
that stuff like this is possible, but it's like all right, he's coming back into the picture, and then it's like, oh, oh, Bakugo's dead. Oh, no, he's not. And so now it kind of like sucks out some of that tension now as we continue to march on towards the end of the series of like, okay, now if anybody else dies, quote unquote,
Yeah.
it might take some wind out of the sails because now it's like, okay, is somebody else going to sacrifice themselves? And hey, is Wash going to use one of his bubbles to?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how deep is this rabbit hole gonna go? Because
Oh,
I, it's like, it just makes me seem like then everybody else's death was for nothing too. Like
Yeah.
it just kind of like I get it, they're kids and they want them to live because they're the future and like they're like they get it, they're the adults and this is what this is what they've been pretty much training for their whole entire lives.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, Class 1A was not ready for this. I just don't. I mean, and they know that
Yeah.
Class 1A was not ready for this at all. Because if the number one hero in America done lost to this man, these kids in school, what are you doing? And I mean, of course they're gonna have plot armor and they're
Yeah.
going to be just fine and they're going to somehow overcome.
Yeah.
But I honestly, like I said, I would have been okay with Bakugo dying. I mean, it would have been weird, but I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
Now, if these little kids have to fight in the elementary school, where uh,
Yeah.
where his sister is, oh my god, like that. Now that's gonna break me.
Yeah.
Now we know these kids can box because we saw them when where it was Bakugo.
And, Todoroki and all
What
them.
is Icy Hot's name?
Shoto.
What is that little boy name? Oh, Shoto
Yeah.
Todoroki. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Toshiro. Not Toshiro. Todoroki and Deku and all that. Yeah, when they all had to like pretty much babysit them.
Yeah.
So that time was crazy. I
Yeah.
loved it. I love seeing the little kids' quirks. Now if they have to start boxing, now I'm like, all right, y'all. Maybe y'all just need to go ahead and surrender because
Yes.
the
For
League of
real.
Villains or whatever the hell it is, and Redestro, this, all of that, just go ahead and give up. Go ahead and give up because if these little kids gotta get into it and get in that thunder,
Yeah.
like I'm over it. Like
Yeah. So we'll
I'm
see.
really I need to see right. Yeah, I need to see the direction that it's going in because I'm not sure. I don't trust. I'm not trusting it right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't trust it right now. I don't trust it.
Yeah. And and
I don't
and
trust it.
and I'm curious. I'm curious like how much longer we do have to go. At this point, because like because okay, we're at the beginning of September now. Is hey by Christmas time is this thing gonna be done, or is it going
That's
to
what I'm saying.
continue by early next year or whatever? But we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out like, is this gonna end it? Like, are they gonna end it with this, or like, what are we gonna see after? Are they gonna like, are we gonna get a fucking Boruto type shit? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is my
Yeah,
hero doing?
yeah,
I'm like,
cause that has always been my curiosity too. Is like it's just typical shonen of there's got to be an end of series time skip to
there
where we
has
see
to.
everybody older and stuff. So now whether like you said whether it turns into a Boruto situation and now we're following them as adults or whatever now and their kids and stuff, or or if what it do um like a lot of other series do it to where it's like, okay, the main story wrapped up, then the final chapter or two is like, hey, here's a time skip so you can just see here's what everybody looks like older and who married
Yeah,
who or whatever, and then that's
yeah.
it. So we'll see. But I know it's coming.
That's what I'm so curious to see how this is gonna go too. Like, are we gonna have a new villain introduced to us after All for One, and we're All for One had a boss too, and it's just like, all right, it's gonna be that Thanos thing where it's like, I guess I'll do it myself type shit at the end of the credits. Like, are we gonna have one of those?
Yeah.
Like, how is my hero going to end if it even ends? But I just wouldn't even know what else they could do with it though. I think that it is like where it is, it's fine. Like I think that it's been a very good run.
Yeah.
But if they have anything else up their sleeve, I'm ready to see that too.
Yeah.
Like I said, are we gonna have a Thanos situation where he's gonna be like, I'll just do it myself?
Yeah.
Like who's the boss of All for One? I feel like he answers to somebody. There's somebody that he has to answer to. I feel like we haven't seen the last of that
Yeah.
crazy ass doctor either.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He
We
he,
haven't
he
seen the last
he's
of the crazy
he
ass
he, he
doctor.
definitely still plotting and scheming.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder, are we gonna
Hmm.
see anything about Aerie though? Are we gonna see anything about her? Like, I wouldn't mind a spin-off show of her.
Yeah.
Like, I would watch that. I
Yeah,
would watch that. Like Deku taking her in as like his own child, his like little sister or something.
yeah,
Like maybe she turns evil too. I don't know. I'm like kind of like curious.
yeah, yeah. That'll be good. But yeah. So
Very, very.
we shall see where the My Hero uh road takes us and stuff. So um real quick, as far as for myself, some stuff I've been watching lately. Trying to
Mhm.
think. Oh, today I had caught up on because I was 3 episodes behind. I had caught up on it's pronounced Lycoris Recoil. Um,
Okay.
that
I
show,
kind of heard about that.
yeah, that show. We're winding down because the way after I watched these last 3 episodes because the episode, yeah, 7 to 8 to 10, one of the somewhere in there, whatever. Um, I think that this might be it because as far as I understand, I think that this is a anime only series, so it's not based off of a
Mm,
manga. It's an anime only series, and
okay.
I've been really enjoying it and stuff. So, and like I said, it kind of worked out perfectly. Me being behind these 3 episodes because these 3 episodes string together really well. So that was really good. Glad to be caught up on that. Um, of course, and I'm not gonna go into it too much, but I'll just say, summertime rendering still crazy,
Yo,
still
listen, I gotta
crazy.
get into that, man. I have to like Rob has been like other Rob definitely was
Yeah,
like, Bam, what are you doing right now? Why are you not? I have to get into
I'll say it will definitely be a very good binge watch as well. Just
it. We
because
love
you
binge
won't
watches.
you won't have the weekly torture and speculation and stuff. Um, but I'll just say that that show is very good. It's been pretty much good from episode one, and it has continued thoroughly all the way through
Hmm.
to continue to be good. So yeah. So this most episode 21 was what was yesterday. Still very good. What else I watched this week? New episode of Made in Abyss. Also very good, but also continues to be very messed up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm so scared to start that, dude. Like somebody suggested it for somebody suggested it to me like 2, 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this.
So, quick question: you haven't seen any of Made in Abyss yet?
I'm so scared. I'm so scared to do it. Like
Yeah,
it's about kids, right? Like there's kids as the main characters.
yeah.
Yeah, see, listen, when it comes to kids, I'm like, oh my gosh, like anything you torture a kid, like listen, because I watched what is that? What is it? What's it called? What's it called? It is escaping me. What is it called? Well, his name is Fushi.
Oh, To Your Eternity.
To Your Attorney. And after March, I'm like, oh my god, like
Yeah,
oh my god, like if I need to start Made in Abyss, I get this might have been my confirmation because I know Rome has started it, and Janice is like, get into it. You talking about it. If
yeah,
I hop on this bandwagon, y'all are gonna have to pick me up off the floor though. If I start this, y'all are picking me up off the floor after I'm crying, after I'm done crying. Like,
yeah. It yeah. I'll say because I had heard because shout out to my friend Bree because she has uh when I went and visited her husband, the family earlier this year, or whatever. We went and hunted down because she was trying to collect all of the manga volumes and stuff, whatever. And so she's been reading it, and so I've known from her as well as also shout out to Kei Saki and Chibi from Three Weebs Pod. They also read it. I've heard from all of them of like, y'all thought season one was messed up, and
listen,
they weren't lying because like season one definitely pretty much as it just like as it goes on and it just ramps up as it goes on, and then
mm-hmm.
it's like season two, it just is like, all right, remember season one, let's turn the dial up several notches. And so yeah, so highly recommended. But yeah, it definitely it's definitely one of those shows of like, don't judge it by its cover because like you said, oh, I always got some kids on the cover in like a fantastical setting. It is not a family
It is
friendly
not
show.
kid friendly, y'all.
No.
It is not. It's not happy go lucky at all. Made in Abyss. Yeah, no, I
Yes.
haven't even watched it, and I've heard about it, and I'm still
Yeah.
like I got oh, I'm scared, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna start it after I start Classroom of the Elite season 2. I'll
Oh
start
yeah.
it though.
Oh yeah.
I'll start it, and we can come back and we can talk about it because
Yes.
I don't mind it.
Yes. For
Oh,
sure.
how bad is the first episode?
Oh, the first honestly, I would say the first like couple episodes are pretty chill just because it's just kind of like, hey, here's a setup for what this world is and what's going on. Because basically a lot of like the craziness doesn't really start until like they actually start going into the abyss. And
Mhm.
so those first couple episodes are just like, hey, here's the world and here's the backstory and the lore of what the abyss is. And
Mhm.
then once the actual journey into the abyss begins, that's when
That's
things
when
really,
it gets real.
yes, yes. So, but
You know what? Okay, I'll put on my big girl panties and I'll watch it. Fine.
you kind of get like they kind of at least like try to like paint like a general brief like picture and idea of what might come because they explain like I said like in the early episodes of like, hey, this is the
Mhm.
abyss and these are the rules. As you go down to each different layer, there are consequences of certain things that happen. Occur basically, it's a curse.
So there's
Okay,
layers to the abyss.
yes.
There's layers to
So
this darkness.
yes, and
Hell
so
no.
yes. So it pretty much it is just these kids descending into a giant hole in the middle in the earth with all types of creatures and
Let's
stuff or
go to
whatever.
hell. That's exactly what they said. Let's
Pretty
venture
much,
to hell.
pretty much. So, but yeah,
Sounds some shit I would do. Y'all bored? y'all want to y'all feel like doing something? Y'all bored? Let's go. Like, girl, we going to hell. We're going to hell.
bam, bam, getting that 2 a.m. flight call. Like, hey, got a flight to the abyss.
Gotta fight to the abyss. I'm sick. I'm sick. I have monkey COVID pox. That's what I got, and that's what I'm gonna claim. I got the COVID pox.
Oh man.
Okay, listen. Monkey 19, COVID, all of that. Pox, COVID, monkey. That's what I got. Pox, COVID, monkey.
Monkey 19.
The monkey 19, COVID pox. That's what I
So,
got.
I'm trying to think what else. Oh, on a little bit more lighthearted note, also of course still been enjoying Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. So that's on
Okay.
the that's on my wholesome list of recommendations. Yes, cause
We love that word around here.
yes. So I'll say it would be a good companion piece to a summertime rendering or a made in abyss of like, all right, I just watched some crazy stuff. Let's kind of let's watch some kind of
My brain
wholesome
hurts.
stuff. Yes. So yeah, so Jacuzzi's Got to Babysitting. Which have you heard of that one?
I've heard of that one,
Yeah.
but I have not touched it.
So pretty much it follows a Yakuza family, and one of the main characters, Kirishima, that's his name.
Hmm.
He's basically known as the demon of this Yakuza family because he is just like ruthless, no holds barred. Hey,
Hmm.
if Kirishima has to come and deal with you, it's not gonna be pretty type of
You know what's up.
situation.
Yeah.
Well, as a way to kind of help bring him down a couple notches and kind of help mellow him out a bit, the Yakuza boss assigns him a new role of watching his daughter. And so
Mm.
it becomes this really cool mix of you do still get this like the action stuff whatever when they go out and do Yakuza stuff, but you also kind of get to see this character kind of like slowly you know change and stuff as he is getting to know this daughter. 'Cause I think she is 7 or 8. um and so just him kind of like having to take her to school and
Mm-hmm.
they're baking together and other little cute stuff, whatever.
Oh,
So that's been like a nice little watch.
slice of life.
Yes, for me every day or not every day, every week. Uh, what else? I also caught up on. Did I catch up? I might be. No, I paused midway through the most recent episode, but I've been watching more of Call of the Night. Um,
Call of the Night. I've actually been
yes.
letting I've been actually rewatching Marvel movies.
Ooh,
Actually,
ooh, and
like I caught a nice little X-Men marathon on FX, and then
nice.
Deadpool came on. Yes, so I've just been kind of like that, kind of re-sparked, like, because I love X-Men. That's my
Yeah,
favorite Marvel. Like, oh,
yeah,
like I'm happy that hopefully they're tying everything in together. Hopefully one
yes,
day I need for X-Men to really become canon in like the Marvel universe, because I don't know why not. But yeah, I caught it. So I ended up watching I didn't watch The Last Stand. I ended up watching like the first X-Men
hmm
where they introduced Rogue when she was like killing people and shit. So
yeah,
that was the one.
yeah.
Then I ended up watching the awful Dark Phoenix.
I I
I
still
also
haven't
watched
watched that one.
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Yes. I watched Apocalypse. And I watched, which one is this one? Which one is that one was it's
first
the
class.
one where was it Apocalypse? That was the same one? Was it? Ugh, now I'm getting my movies mixed up. It's the one where it was Quicksilver came and saved everybody from the house
Oh,
blowing up. Which one was that one?
was was that first class?
I think it was First Class. I think it was First Class. Pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
So I rewatched, like, I was watching that whole marathon of that, and I was just like, man, I like X-Men has my heart. I'm
yeah,
just very eager to see who they're going to cast as Wolverine now, because I mean that's job security. Like
yeah.
Hugh Jackman had job security with that. And I feel like the only person that I can honestly see being Wolverine would be but he might be too old, would be like Gerard Butler. I could see that.
Mm.
People are saying Zac Efron, and I'm like, I don't know about that one. I
Yeah.
mean, sure, but I don't think I could see Zac Efron being that. Actually, who I wouldn't mind seeing be the Wolverine is but he's already Venom, the guy that's Venom.
Is Tom Hardy?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. His name is Tom. I could kind of see him being Wolverine. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of like just naming off random white men with dark hair, but I could definitely see him maybe being a pretty okay Wolverine if we're gonna
So
talk about
real quick, because I'm glad you brought up the X Men and Marvel stuff because and more than likely, 'cause I think things will time out for or time out perfectly between when this podcast episode comes out and when I record next time
it.
is
Hmm.
next Friday is D23. So Marvel is gonna be having a lot of announcements and stuff. And so you mentioned the X Men thing. One thing I want to kind of put on people's radar to make sure,
Hmm.
of course, more than likely, if you're listening to this podcast and you're a nerd like us, you probably already have seen the rumors or the news or whatever. But some people that they have kind of been like teasing are going to be um, getting introduced into like the next phase of the MCU and potentially some of the
Hmm.
X Men stuff. Um, uh, Denzel Washington, Giancarlo Esposito, which those of y'all, if y'all know how much I love Giancarlo for his role in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad as Gus,
Yo,
yes,
yo, and he's also in The Boys, right?
yes,
He's
yes,
also in The
yes,
Boys. So
yes,
yeah,
yes. And so yeah, so those two alone, I'm excited about Denzel and freaking Giancarlo. Yes. Uh, who else? John Boyega, Henry Cavill. Yeah.
whoa. Okay.
Uh,
Heavy hitters.
Henry Cavill,
Of course.
and they got some other people here listed, but I can't really like some of these names I recognize, but I don't really
Magneto.
know. Like I got a John Krasinski, don't really know him.
John Krasinski is he played in The Office. So
Oh,
he
okay.
was the guy in The Office, and he
Oh,
also did The Quiet Place. Was it The Quiet
okay,
Place? I think that's what I think that's the Quiet Place. I want to see. I want to make sure. Yeah, it's The Quiet Place.
okay. Oh,
John Krasinski. Yeah, but I wonder what he's gonna
hold
do
on,
then
real quick.
because
So, all right, we're back recording. But yes, okay. I'm looking at a picture of him now. Okay, I recognize him. Uh, Daisy Edgar Jones
not sure who that is.
and Jodie Comer. Don't recognize her either. But but the other ones, Denzel, Giancarlo, Henry Cavill, John Boyega. Oof.
Henry Cavill. So that's Magneto.
Uh, you said
No, no,
no. Henry Cavill. He played he played Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
Superman. I get those two mixed up all the time. I get the actors for Superman and Magneto mixed up
Oh
every
yeah,
time because
that's
they look so much alike to me.
Michael Fassbender.
Their name's not even the same.
That's
That's
the yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, so Superman is gonna be in. You're
Yeah.
gonna put Superman in Marvel?
Yeah. And
I
I'm
would love.
the two that I am like and I feel I think most of this is just like fans hoping whatever, but it seems like a lot of speculation is maybe Giancarlo Esposito and Denzel Washington being Magneto and Professor X.
Now, I don't even know how. I don't. Who's gonna be bald? That's what I'm gonna ask. Who's gonna be the bald one?
Yeah, may
John definitely needs to be Magneto. There's no
yeah,
way he can be. I'm sorry, you're not gonna be Professor X. I don't need that from you. I
yeah,
need you to be Magneto.
yeah,
I need the menace.
yes,
That's what I need.
yes. Hold on, real quick. Yes. All right, back. Had to take a quick thing because Vash came running in crying. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
The baby.
It ended up being nothing. The older kids was playing some type of game where I guess they were turning the lights off or whatever, and it freaked him out. And so he was like, because he was saying something about he was like something lights, and I'm like, what's going on? Hey, you is okay. All right, go sit down, go with Sissy. Lord.
The baby.
um. So yeah, so that's happening, and apparently I have my daughter's friend is spending the night. So
Full
yay.
house tonight, man.
Yes. So
Dad needs to talk. Full house.
yes, for Daddy's Talk for House Edition.
Full house edition.
So yeah. So oh yeah, we were talking about like with the Marvel
The
stuff,
phases and
whatever.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's gonna be very interesting to see what's going to happen, what's going to get announced. So basically, just know on next week's episode, I'll give you all the details. Me and hold on, what date is? Let me look at my calendar. Hold on. This is going up then. This is going up then. Okay. So I'm looking because I know I have another guest planned soon, but he's gonna be my next guest is gonna be maybe 2 weeks from when this one posts. So, but either way, your boy will bring you all the news when it happens and stuff. So, but I'm very excited about. I'm excited about that whole event in general. Like I said, of course, all the MCU news and stuff, but also there's supposed to be some Marvel video game related news too there as well. So I'm curious to see what all is going to happen and pop off on that front.
Right.
What other? Oh, I know another show I was going to ask you because I think I saw that you watched this, or maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. But did you watch? Shoot, Sandman.
I didn't watch Sandman. I know. I'm gonna say who was it that did? I saw the discussions on it. I thought about it.
Yeah,
I thought about it,
I'm trying to think because
but I didn't watch. I haven't watched Sandman yet.
okay, okay, because
I'm wanting to watch the latest season of The Boys. That's what I need to go ahead and watch.
oh yes,
'Cause Jensen Ackles, everybody knows my baby daddy. Jensen Ackles. Listen, I need to get on that. I need to. I need to. I know other Rob is probably like, you haven't watched it? And I'm like, I go at my own pace now. Listen, I go at
yeah.
my own pace. They need to put it on Netflix. Hell, that's what they need to do. Put it on Netflix. On Amazon Prime, put it on Netflix, please. But I'm excited to see Jensen Ackles. Like I didn't really keep up with his stuff after Supernatural because I
Yeah,
was like, I watched Supernatural and I loved his acting there. Now that he's in The Boys,
yeah,
and I heard he gives Homelander a run for his motherfucking money. So
yeah.
I'm ready. Soldier
He's a
Boy, I'm
problem.
ready.
He's a
Oh,
problem.
he's a problem. See, I got to, because I mean, like, ugh, I'm so sick of Homelander. I'm just like, you with your damn daddy, mommy, sister, brother issues. Like, I am so sick of your ass. Like, you are literally a white man throwing a tantrum. That's all you're doing. You're just an angry white man throwing a tantrum who can shoot lasers out his eyes. And I remember on the TL, they were like, man, they're of course power scaling, these immature lame ass niggas trying to power scale with Homelander. And I'm like, literally everybody else in any other universe is whooping his ass. Even the real Superman is whooping his ass. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, Batman is whooping his ass. Like,
Oh man.
what are you March from to your eternity is whooping his ass.
Not March. I gotta hold on. I gotta make a note because I gotta.
Yes.
I'm a post a. I'm gonna try to remember later. I'm gonna post just like a picture of just like March and Homelander, and I'm gonna tag you and just maybe with no other context, and just see where people think just like March and Homelander, and then send tweet at Bam Hendrixx.
Because okay, because I'm whooping his ass. What are you talking about?
Uh,
I'm whooping his ass. Like, and I mean, I actually, one of my homeboys that I work with in
mhm.
Jersey, I was telling him, I was like, you need to watch The Boys. Like, if you really like superhero stuff, I'm just like, he was like, I've never even heard of it. I'm like, you never heard of The Boys?
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man. Everybody here that's watching, if you haven't watched it, which most of you probably have, please watch it and watch the latest season for me. I need to go ahead and watch it. I'm being lazy. I am. I'm being lazy. Can't even stand. I am.
Speaking of
So
which, real quick, cause speaking of stuff like superhero shows like that or whatever, you watch Invincible?
I didn't watch Invincible, but I watched WandaVision.
Okay,
I watched that one. I think,
okay.
and that was like my most. I didn't watch Loki, but I watched WandaVision, and I am excited to say the least. I
I
am so excited.
I'll just definitely say, Invincible is another high recommendation from your boy Rob.
Whooping everybody's ass. Well, not whooping everybody's ass, but his dad is whooping his ass every time.
Yes, yes. So
But and it's like some people tell me about it, and they were just like, apparently, like his father was like kind of good, like he was going good, and all of a sudden now he's like reverting back to like his old ways or something, and he whoops his son's ass all the time.
yeah, yeah. Well, that was more of like a end of the season type of thing, but
Omni Man whooped everybody's ass. I saw a clip. Listen,
oh,
I was watching. I saw them clips. I'm like, this nigga is a menace. Like, oh my gosh, like no body is spared.
yeah,
Like,
literally, literally.
yeah, I gotta catch up, man. There's so much I haven't like watched, but like I can only imagine. Only
Yes,
imagine. It was a craze. It was such a craze.
yes, for sure. And so I'm trying to think. Before, because we'll probably get ready to wrap up soon. But before we do, you got any other shows you want to talk about, or maybe even any recommendations you might have for the people?
I've been
of
pushing Classroom lately like it ain't nothing. Like I've been pushing that agenda. That's exactly what I've been pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing it. Y'all better watch Classroom Week. God damn it. That's what y'all need to watch right now. If you haven't watched it, do it. Please. Like, and if you need a slice of life anime recommendation, this is my comfort, like my little comfort anime. It's called Love is Hard for Otaku. And they're actually grown people and they're
yes,
like over 18 and they're not in high school.
yes.
Um yeah, like living in like corporate Japan and working and just navigating relationships in life. And y'all should definitely watch it. I enjoy it. I still
Watch
enjoy it. Look,
it.
your boy, see, look, I still enjoy it. Like I'm
Super good.
absolutely like in love. Like, yes, y'all need to go ahead and do that one. Those are my two recommendations. I have too
Yeah.
much. Read My Hero, of course. Always read My Hero. Please read it. Don't wait. Please don't wait. Um, but yeah, like I'm not pushing any agendas right now. I'm not pushing any agendas. I think the only agenda that I'm pushing is definitely Classroom of the Elite. That's what I'm gonna like end off on because
Okay.
I'm about to go watch that second season. I don't know. I'm about to go watch that second season, and I guess I'll start Made in Abyss. I'll probably start pushing that agenda if I like it. I'll probably start pushing that agenda too.
Yeah, for sure.
I probably will.
And before I end the podcast, I got to give once again a shout out to my wife because she's been texting me over on the sub. So my like I was telling white Bam off air before we recorded. My wife and her sister, my sister in law, are currently at a Kalani concert. So my wife is
Jealous.
currently geeking out, sending me pictures and stuff. I think yep, Kalani just came out. So she is texting away like, oh my gosh, send me pictures. So much love to my wife and my sister-in-law. Hope
Shout
y'all
out to
had
the
a
women.
blast. uh and yeah, I think, like I said, I think I've gone over pretty much most of my highlights for from this last week, as far as, like I said, like watches and um reading and stuff. I was peeking. I need to catch back up on because I started reading a chapter because I love it when some series you just forget, and not because it's bad, but it's just like life happens, things happen, whatever.
Yeah, especially when you haven't
And
read something. You can't retain all the information. Like, yes,
yeah,
we're nerds and weebs, but we're not, you know.
yes, but but yeah, I enjoy when I forget about something and then like several chapters or several episodes have built up and it's like, oh yeah, how far back am I? Oh, I got like 5 chapters to read, or I got like 5 episodes to watch. That's always a nice little treat. And so that is me with it's a series I've talked about it on here before, but it's called Gachi Akuda. It is
Gotcha, coochie. What? You got a what?
that series, for those who do not know, the author of that, she was an assistant to the author who did Fire Force and Soul Eater.
Mm.
So when the manga for Fire Force ended earlier this year, her series started like a couple weeks later, and so the author of Fire Force kind of gave her his blessing, and he was like, "Hey, this was my apprentice, basically, whatever." Her new series, ringing endorsements, and I've been enjoying it so far. So, but I'm like, I checked earlier today. I'm like 5 chapters behind, so I'm excited to read that because if you enjoyed Fire Force, you're gonna enjoy this series as well because
And I did
it
enjoy Fire Force.
it has some very dope and similar vibes, but different as well, as doing its own thing. But you'll immediately, when you see the character design and stuff, whatever, you will see the kind of Fire Force influence and stuff, whatever, from like the crazed looks some of the characters and stuff get when they, you know, um, excited or action scenes or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's on my list, as well as this lovely pile of manga behind me that I have to read. But yeah, I think that's it for me for this week. One last thing. I've also started watching. It's a show called shoot, Kaji, the Ultimate.
Number 8? I was gonna say
No,
kaiju number 8.
no.
Because I was just like, has that been animated?
Not yet. It's on the way. They announced that
It's saying this on the
few weeks
way.
ago. But Kaiji the Ultimate Gambler. Now, some of y'all, this is more of a niche series that a lot of people hadn't heard of, but the name of it got brought up a lot last year when Squid Game brought out, because people were like, if you enjoy Squid Game, this is a lot of people claim that hey, this is way better than Squid Game. So I'm like, okay, and it's one because the style of the manga definitely stands out, or the anime when you see like the character design and stuff, whatever. And it's why I'm like, because I saw it on Crunchyroll all the time, I'm like, that looks different, looks interesting, whatever. So, but I'm slowly watching whatever, but it's kind of a similar vibe to where characters in some huge debt, and now they're playing these different. Right now they're like in a casino, playing like seemingly like a death game to survive.
Not a death game.
Yeah. So.
Of course, so Squid Game.
But I'm gonna stop there because, like I said, your boy can keep on talking and rambling all day long.
We love it here.
But for you, Bam, did you have anything else you want to mention or shout outs before I let you go for the night?
Man, there's too many of them. Okay, first of all, shout out to myself.
Yes.
Bam Hendrixx. You can follow me at Bam Hendrixx, that's 2 X's and an underscore, on Instagram and on Twitter and on TikTok, all 3 platforms. I am on there. Shout out to PBNK. Shout out to my girl Panda and Kills. Shout out to Anime at the Dark. Shout out to Worst Gen. Shout out to Blandame. Shout out to Analytical. Shout out to Shogo High. Shout out to Dad Needs to Talk. Shout out to My Check Wait Food. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Like,
yes.
Shout out to We Got This Wednesdays. Oh my gosh. Hello. Like, shout out to women in the industry. Like, yes. Shout out to everybody in the Black anime community, because without us, there would be no them. Without them, there would be no us. There would be no me. There would be no we. There would be nothing, because we are each other and we are here for each other and we support each other. Everybody can be found on Twitter and Instagram. We are there. We are in the spaces. Come say hi. Shout out to Hubtaku. Oh my, see, look, there is just everything's just coming back. Yes. Shout out to everybody. These people are literally family to me. These people are absolutely amazing. These are some people that I've known for years, some people that I've grown up with, some people that I've met on the internet. And still, like, we don't skip a beat, man. Like, and shout out to everybody going to AWA. We're going to turn up. That's Anime Weekend Atlanta at the end of October. Please come out and get your tickets, y'all. Like, it's going to be fun this year. Like, I'm so excited. It's going to be my first time. Come out with the cosplays. Shout out to new weaves, old weaves, middle weaves, like, everybody that makes this community what it is. And that right there, I think we got it.
Yeah. And I couldn't have said it any better myself. And so, as for myself, y'all know y'all can always follow and find your boy everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Hey, if you're watching the video, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and all that fun jazz. And yeah, like I said, we'll be back with more awesome anime and manga and family discussions in the future. And
shout out to Inside the Mind of a Blurred and Chaotic Culture Podcast. Yes. There we go.
yes.
Oh, y'all.
Yes. Shout out to everybody in the community. Much love to everybody. Much love to all of us. And much love to you, Bam. This was so freaking fun. I'm so glad we got a chance to do this. This was definitely a great way to chill and hang out on this Saturday night. And to sign off, as I always say, treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, play some video games, and live your best life. And with that, we're out. Y'all have an awesome week and weekend. Peace.
Yay! Oh, I love